All right, so welcome to a nice late night stream of building in creative mode because that's fun for me. Really quickly change my skin here. Um, actually, so you guys don't see my files in case I reveal anything that I'm not supposed to. Just here. All right, welcome back. There's my skin. That's what I want. I don't know why it does that sometimes, but I guess it just does. Anyway, so working on what I'm going to be calling the nation state. It's just kind of building up this small little connected string of villages that exist spread throughout kind of the tundra here. So I've started with basically I'm going to be going through eventually to like there's a village like over that way and one over that way down to the south there as well as one like over there. You can see in the very far distance there, um, way over there. Basically, I've been working to kind of like patch these villages up and like make them better. Like you can see that I've been working on these or on this one here. Basically, just fix things up, make it actually nice and just overall better. I used to do this a lot when I was younger, and so I figured I'd take a stab at it nowadays. And I also wanted a house for myself. So I made this big old lodge here. I'll give a tour of this another day. Um, but this is, I mean, I just yesterday I got done working on this, and I am really pleased with how this looks. I mean, just look at this. Wouldn't you want to live in this? I know I would. That's why I built it. But anyway, so I got to thinking, well, I'm kind of overlooking, if this is my residency, I'm kind of overlooking the village. So I figured, hey, I used to have an old road when I was younger I called the Governor's Mansion, which was actually, funnily enough, another, like, my attempt at a fixed up village, like right across from a big fancy house, or fancy at the time. It was probably one of the uglier structures I built, but I was younger, so. But I figured this is kind of a weird kind of parody of that now. So I figured, hey, that back then I was like obsessed with being like in real life, I was like obsessed with being the governor and whatnot. So, um, of like the state where I grew up. And so like that's why I called it the governor's mansion because I thought I was the governor. So I don't know, I figured I'd roll with that idea, in this kind of new world, this creative world I do just to kind of chillax at the end of the day and just turn my brain off and build a bit. So I figured, yeah, and why stop at being the governor of like a local province when I can just say that I'm like, this is the residency of like I'm the leader of a small like nation state I'm gonna build in this like snowy forest. I love the snow, by the way. Like I really love the snow. That's why I always try and build here if I can. But anyway, so yeah, I'll show this off another day. But for now. I don't have a name for this nation state. It's just kind of a vague idea right now. Um, but so, that's my residency, and this is the village. This is kind of going to be, since this is the first village in this area I fixed up, it's going to be like the hub, and also because it's right next to the leader's residency. This is going to be like the hub between the villages, like there, and over there. And so to do that, we need some roads that connect them. And so that's what I'm going to start working on is like some roads. This one's going to go out of the village here and wig-wag up the side of this mountain here and head up there. And eventually, and it's going to branch off like probably somewhere over here and eventually go south and hit that village over yonder. Um, but yeah, uh, we'll be working on the road in a second. For now, though, I gotta get this gate finished up. I gotta figure out how I want to do this. I've only recently in this build figured out that you can use structure blocks to essentially make big doors by just changing the state of them so that basically you just build how it looks built like open, and then you build how it looks closed, and then you just have four buttons, two on each side of the door that you use to open and close it. And it just changes the way it looks, and there's even an animation feature. Super revolutionary, I know, like never before seen technology, but I just never ever thought to do that before in a build. So now I have. And I'm glad I have because it's tell you, the big doors up in the lodge there were the Northern Lights, Aurora Borealis. I've located them entirely within my kitchen. Um, the big doors up in the lodge definitely was good to have those and figure that out. Okay, how do I actually want to do this? Maybe copper bars, maybe? I've been using copper bars a lot. I feel like it kind of goes with it. Do I really want to make it like this bar gate, or do I want to make it more of a solid gate? I think a bar gate like this I think it's fine. Um, this is no, this is lopsided, that's for sure. What? What? And then something I've found out with these doors is that you can use like shelves have come in clutch in this build because they're literally the closest thing we have currently to vertical slabs. They're almost there, but they're close. But like if you have like a door, like say this is a door has swung open, and let's say its closed state is where, so let's say these, like the pivot point is on this block, like here. Say these, close in like this. Say the way these close is like this, with the dark oak in the middle here. Well, the state when they change open, because you'd have to like, because if it's an odd space door like this where you have like one, two, three, then you have to, if you want it, you can't normally you can't split it open in two evenly because you obviously can't split a block. But the closest I've found you can do to that is you open it, you have the one over here, the one over here, and then the middle one, you use shelves like this to get kind of the closest approximation of that splitting of half a block. Again, like not quite there. Shelves are like a third of a block, but they're close. They're the closest thing. I mean, hey, I'm trying out these new experimental features, and Mohang is still getting
instead of a clear-headed look at history. So this is
um sorry, that was a video I had on Americans or no, other tabs. A great guy, Ken LaCourte, makes great informational videos that's like just super straight, objective, factual information that's like not biased at all. It's like just presented to you to make your own opinion. Great guy. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but it just all I'll say, great guy. But yeah, so trying out the new experimental features that just dropped, and yeah, Mohang is starting to kind of get their stuff together. With the wool stairs and wool slabs definitely have been. I haven't used them yet, but I'm guessing they'll definitely be very much appreciated in the future if I ever use them. I feel like that's something we've been waiting on for a long, long time. And let's not forget to mention the cushions. Cushion's a game changer. I mean, hey, better late than never, am I right? Anyway, so this gate, like something like that looks good here. Um, if I did like, yeah, that makes sense. Block in the middle. So, do that though. Then the question becomes, how do I then split that opening? Is there, because none of the shelves look close to. See, in something like this, you can do one of two options. You can swing it open, both sides open, and then have like this netherite middle go to one side and then not go to the other, so it'd be uneven. Or you can just pretend like this never existed in the first place when it opens. Which I think I'm gonna do the latter. I think that's good. Okay, so put that. Mm, put this. Yeah, that. I believe this should open out. So let's see. Put these barrier blocks here so these stupid villagers don't go wandering out while I'm building this. 'Cause I know they will. Let's see. That's four and that's four. Okay, I should have space. Huh. Oh yeah, yeah. So I build this at. I'm pretty busy during most days, so I work on this and build at night. So let's choose it right quick. So let's choose it right quick. Do this. Maybe copper bars. Maybe I've been using copper bars a lot. I feel like it kind of goes with it. I really want to make it like this. This bar gate, or do I want to make it more of a solid gate? Their stuff together with the wool stairs and wool slabs definitely have been. I haven't used them yet, but I'm guessing they'll definitely be very much appreciated in the future if I ever use them. I feel like that's something we've been waiting on for a long, long time. And let's not forget to mention the cushions. Cushions are game changer. Definitely have been. I haven't used them yet, but like we've been waiting on for a long, long time. And let's not forget to mention the cushion. Anyway, back to whatever it is we were doing. Okay, so if you always want to make sure that you save the included air that you need to get rid of the opening. name this? What's a brilliant name to come up with for this? It needs to be absolutely brilliant. Um, let's see. Village Gate 1. Because I'm going to put another one on the other side over there. So there's a gate over there that's going to eventually lead to the village that's over yonder. So for now, this will be gate number 1. These names only matter temporarily, but you gotta make sure to do it right. Otherwise, this kind of things just don't really work out right. Okay, so that's 10. So I believe this is 11. Yep. And then let's take a guess here. Let's say 9. Oh, oh, a little bit too tall. 7. No, too short. 8. Cool. So that includes the air. We'll have them open inwards. Actually, or outwards. I kind of want these to be like somewhat defensive gates too, that like are kind of strong. But I'm trying to think like, if you want a gate to potentially resist like an attack, like somebody trying to break it down, would you want it to? No, you'd want it to go out, right? Yeah, you want it to go out, not in. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Gate 1. 11. Not 9, 11. We're not doing that. 8. I believe the Z is good at 5. It's opposite of 1. 11. Okay. Mac and squaring. We'll make the pivot point here and then. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Jeez. Get 1 closed. That's saved. Open sesame the gates. And hold out the gates. See, personally, I've always been a Bedrock person. I haven't had much, really. I mean, that's what I grew up with. That's the version I got when I was much younger. And I've still had to this day. But just, the way it just, I don't know, just, maybe it's aesthetics, I think. It's kind of hard to pin down, but I just kind of like the feel of it better. than Java. Like to me, Java feels kind of strange. I think that's just because I'm not used to it. I just kind of prefer Bedrock, just on a fundamental level, I feel like. Don't get me wrong, though, there's still plenty of things that I wish were in Bedrock. The longest time, when I was younger, I didn't understand why things that I saw like all over YouTube, weren't doable in Minecraft. Like the old thing of like a sword being able to block. I remember, if any of you remember like Mr. QB, like that old YouTuber, doesn't really upload much in it like at all anymore. Made a whole bunch of Minecraft videos way back in the day. Um, but just one of his videos where he talks about everything you need to know about swords. I was very interested in that because it was like, oh, I didn't know that. Like you can block with a sword, and I thought that was pretty damn cool at the time. But then I booted up Minecraft, and then as a stupid little kid, I was like, why is this not working? Like this is stupid. Like why? Like why? I was just super confused. Same thing. Don't even get me started on the whole like shields thing, being able to put banners on them. I'm glad that you can now. But I mean, back then, phew, I did not know, and I did not like that. Oh, since an offset of trying to right click on the netherite block. It's like negative, say 13. Did I get it right? You know when you like don't pay attention to things and then like they don't actually work out the way you want them to, and then you just like say to yourself, bruh, yeah, this is a moment. Oh my glue, you've done it. Maybe this is right. Yes, that's right. That's what I needed to do. And this should be 5? Yeah. No, 4. Um, that's- yeah, I just never knew that about structure blocks before that they could like I never put two and two together on that possibility. Find that 0.35 seconds is about the good animation time. Although I might change that. That was for the doors up in the lodge, though. I might change that for this, actually. Make it open a bit more slowly. I don't know. We'll see. Village, gate 1, closed. 1. I never understood the rotation feature. I feel like I can never get that right. Okay. Turn off the bounding boxes. This should be good. Great. Moment of truth. Bingo bongo. See, look at that. Beautiful. Now we'll slow it down a little bit. Let's do 0.2 seconds. See what that does. I want this to open a little bit more slowly. Oh wait, no, that makes it faster, right? Yeah, that makes it faster. So let's do 0.5 seconds. That makes it slower. Okay. How did I get put in advanced math in school? Can't tell if that's too slow or not slow. Now let's do 0.55. What does that look like? That might just be a horsehair's too just a horsehair too long. Let's do 4.5. I think even 0.5 is still a little bit too slow. No, I think 0.5 is right where we want to be. This is a big, beefy gate, so I feel like it should take a little bit of time to kind of open. The ones up in the lodge needed to open quickly just because, their doors in a residential area, so they kind of need to open them quickly. These are big. Oh, you kind of need to open them quickly. These are big gates that lead out onto the road, so these ones need to be a little bit more beefy and open slower. Um, Something I've always thought, using concrete powder, I need to put labels on these blocks so I know which one opens and which one closes. So you somehow couldn't tell red is open. See, I can't even tell because I'm slipping up too. She somehow couldn't tell green is open, red is closed. I don't know why I would need to explain that. You know, nowadays, I'm not accusing anybody of this who may be watching, but all I'm saying is nowadays people are stupid in general. You know, I was working on a construction project just this week, and there we have like these posts, these columns that need to get built. So we have rebar coming out of like 3 inch, like on each of the corners of this thing, we have rebar coming off the like four little like 3 inch sticks of rebar coming out of the stone that we have now. And I need to put cinder blocks on top of those pieces of rebar. And now the whole site is fenced in with this like orange nylon fence. So, nobody is to tell people, hey, stay out of there. You're not supposed to be in there. Well, I still put blocks on top of that rebar because I guarantee you somebody stupid's gonna stumble along. Well, potentially. I'm not saying it will happen, but there is the chance for somebody stupid to stumble along and just not pay attention to what they're doing and then, stumble in there and impale themselves. It's kind of like how you can technically drown in 3 inches in like 2 centimeters of water. You can technically impale yourself on 3 inches of rebar. That's like spaced evenly. Well, I don't know. I guess that is a bit of an extreme example. I don't know. Okay, so do I want this to be? See, I have these roads in the village like lowered so they can be slabs. I have them slabs so snow doesn't accumulate on them to block the roads. But I'm wondering out here if I want to do a lower thing too. Hanging out here is a block lower. That's not really a huge. Let me extend this out. Cover that. Outline that with stairs. I don't want to have to dig. So it's going to be a lot. Who wants... screw it, make a breeze road, why not? Wag it this way. Shout out to one of my friends. His name starts with B, is all the information I'll disclose. I suggested I use this steep slate tiles for this. I wanted something that would stick out among the snow, but also wasn't the same as all the village uh, formal, like, finished stone roads that I've been making. This isn't gonna be uniform, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to look good. I'm not gonna spend time, because this is gonna potentially be such a large project. I'm not gonna take the time to like properly like measure out a whole bunch of properly measure out a bunch of like mistakes that I have and like make it, or like the way I do it and like make it perfect. In the words of Martin Sheen in 1993 Gettysburg, there's no time for that. I have told you there is no time for that. There is no time. It is of the opinion of some excellent officers in this army that you have let us all down. That has already happened once. It must never, ever happen again. Perhaps you misunderstood my orders? Perhaps I did not make myself clear. Well, this must be made very clear. You, with your cavalry, are the eyes of this army. Without you, we are blind. I don't know. I've never actually fully watched Gettysburg. I need to, at some point, sit down and actually watch that. I have that on my list of movies to watch, like when I'm home alone for an extended period of time. Well, if my parents like gone somewhere. Okay, I know I said I wasn't gonna obsess too much over like the shape of this, but like the way I just did this is gonna kind of bother me a little bit. I don't have OCD, but I have like kind of a. I think I kind of have like a milder version of it, I think. I think here it really only matters because Yeah, screw it. Yeah. Like here, I think it only really bothers me because it's like a straight shot and there's like nothing like to actually like maneuver around. Like once I actually get like up into here and I actually have to like work around the terrain instead of just doing a straight diagonal path on level ground, I think then it's gonna change. Um, it's my evening alarm. Um, I think I need to get a better mic is what I need to do. 'Cause I'm currently using my standard computer mic, which is not very good at all. It did like I was listening to the audio test recordings before I started, and they just sound like garbage, like completely just awful. That doesn't look right. The roads did not definitely do not need to remain this wide as they are, like coming into this gate here. Which I think I can kind of push this out. You think about it, like if this is gonna be like a nation state where people are like constantly using this roadway and whatnot to get from point A to point B, like you want it to be wide enough for like cargo and other like goods and whatnot that people have, like the villagers have to like traverse this a lot. Is really kind of the way I'm thinking about this. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. I think that might just, I mean, that's probably not going to be how I keep it the entirety of like the length winding all over the place. It's probably just gonna be this size just going up to the lodge and I don't know. It just kind of the in and out traffic like right next to the gates of the village really is what matters. Because like once you get kind of out more, like out away in between the towns more, it kind of things kind of like space out, and I would guess, and so it doesn't quite need to be as wide. And I wonder if there's a way, I'm kind of testing the waters, so to speak, of this road. I don't want this to just look like an asphalt road, like being tiled like this. Is there a way I can kind of like slice this up? They took like tough bricks and like dotted the outside. Even like the outside. Two blocks. That's a bit too long. That looks about right there. Though I kind of like this. Kind of. We did smooth sims. That looks too old, honestly. Like, yeah, I feel like you can probably imagine like seeing some builds from like on YouTube or something from way back in the day that look something like that. Or at least I can. Let's see. I'm like never gonna use sulfur bricks. Like, doesn't sulfur like in the real world like really stink and like is used for explosives and stuff? Somebody let me know. Hmm. So two options. It's polished. Polished top is so tough. Oh, I like that. I think the brick pattern here is just kind of too bricky. Give me an English award. Ooh, that? Ah, now we're cooking with propane. I got the propane and propane accessories. Damn it, Bobby! That probably sounded horrible through my mic. Again, I need to get a better mic if I'm gonna be doing this. Well, see, the thing is, I have one, and because I have a headset that I use, like when I'm talking on Discord with my friends, and that works fine. But for whatever reason, and I've been looking this up, and I've like tried multiple solutions and like the common ones people talk about, and like nothing worked. But the issue I have is OBS Studio, which is what I've been using to stream this. And you know, is like the gold standard pretty much, you know, everyone uses that. For whatever reason, my wireless headset just like defaults to this super low quality, like microwaved, like Timu quality of audio. Like whenever my headset is connected to my computer and I open up OBS, it just does that. You know, microwaves my you know, spectrogram or whatever, and then like you know, my earphones and just makes the audio complete garbage. And I've been trying to fix it. I just don't know how. So I'm using currently just my you know my regular computer audio input device, which sounds terrible because it's not right next to where my voice is. It's sitting, you know, 2 feet away from me on my desk, with the microphone surrounded by my TV and my Wii. Yes, I have a Wii still, and you know everything else. So there's that. Okay, so now lampposts. Kind of want to use copper bulbs, honestly. Something I'm not really a fan of, I'll say, is with copper bulbs is that I don't like the fact that unless I'm wrong about this, and I just don't know how they work. But I'm pretty sure, like, if I put a regular one here, power it, and then if I put an oxidized one, power. Yeah, that's something I'm not a fan of is the fact that the oxidized ones aren't as bright. Which I mean, I get that. Like I get that why that makes sense, but I feel like there's like scenarios that you'd want to have the look. What is it? I feel like you'd want to have the look of an oxidized bulb, but not but still want the brightness of a fully unaffected. Like, am I the only one that thinks that, or no? 'Cause I feel like that should be a thing. The lampposts I have in the village here just use lanterns. So yeah, I'm a sucker for lanterns. I like lanterns. They're cool. They're underrated. I've not used a single torch in this build. Torches are this is the new generation. This is something you've never seen before. It's gonna be great. You know, we're not using torches anymore. Those are the old days. That was the old America. Things are gonna be different now. I'm the greatest. My name's Donald Trump. Like, this is the greatest new thing here. We're not going back to the old ways. Torches are lame. They're classic. They've been done a million times. We're not doing that. We're not doing torches again. We're going all in with the new stuff. The lanterns. Lanterns are amazing. I'm Donald J. Trump. I approve this message. Like, seriously though, like, torches, they're old. Come on, man. Like, seriously, we've used torches for God knows how long. I mean, come on. It's time to give them up. I mean, do they do the job? Yes. Do they look fine? Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, they do the job. But like, they've been doing it for so dang long. Like, like, torches are like 97 now and still working. Like, let them retire. Give lanterns the spotlight, give like other lighting sources the spotlight too. This isn't ancient Rome where we use torches for everything still. Like, come on. That's at least my view of it. Like, I mean, build how you want, but that's just my take. Is that, come on. Like, we got to move past the era of torches, people. This isn't 2011 anymore, as much as a lot of people wish it was, me included. Anyway, sorry for the tangent. But copper bulbs or lanterns? I feel like lanterns. Actually, I feel like bulbs now I'm thinking about it, would probably make more sense here. I don't know. I still like lanterns. Um, nah, go with lanterns still. I think what I'll do is close to the village, because I have in the village here. I have two different kinds of lantern, like lamp posts. I have the ones that are like part of the finished streets that are nice and neat. These are stone, the cobblestone walls and the stone slab. And then I have the ones that are on like the unfinished roads like this that wigwag through like the country areas and like out of the not paved areas. And these ones are just wood fences. So I think the ones that are like on the roads that are like close to the village, like within pretty close distance, I'll use the stone ones, and like as it gets further and like wigwags into like the forest back there, and do like the wood one. I think that makes sense. So in a base, I'll use tiles. Yeah. Um, could use Diores. Honestly, I'd be down. If I did like andesite. This Diorite seems. I'm happy with that. Now right on the side here, I'll put two lanterns. Ugh. There's not going to be any kind of like regular spacing with these. Just dot them wherever they need to be. That'll suffice. Spread them like that. Yeah. There. Yeah, something like that. All right, so that's a good start to the roads. And then I think we're going to call it there. And we'll pick back up on this another time. Thank you all for tuning in, listening, and I'll see you another time. Have a good night.